guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm doing a bump date and I did not realize this, but it has been 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 5 weeks since I have done a bump date. I don't know how that happened. It honestly does not feel like it has been that long, and this pregnancy is flying by. I think it's probably because I have a toddler and kind of a busy life, and so I don't really have time to like think about it like I was the last time, but I seriously feel like this pregnancy has flown by. So anyways, I'm going to do a bump date and I'm going to update you on how I have been the last 5 weeks, what has changed, and how I'm doing now in my 18th week. So at 18 weeks, the baby is about 5.6 inches, which is almost half a foot long, which is amazing to me. It's about the size of a sweet potato. Again, depends on the size of your sweet potato, but that's the vegetable for the week. Honestly, I have not had very many symptoms come second trimester. I haven't had any heartburn. Ovia, O-V-I-A, that's the pregnancy app I use. I love it, it's my favorite. But honestly, it doesn't give you a whole lot of information about the baby and development and things like that. So then I go to like the bump and I get updates about myself, my pregnancy, and like what symptoms to expect and things like that. So all that to say, I don't really have a whole lot of symptoms, but I'm very grateful for that. I will take that for as long as I can because I know that this is just like the honeymoon stage in the pregnancy, and it's going to start getting harder and a little bit more painful and just not as easy. So I am truly trying to appreciate this time and just enjoy it. They say that some people have trouble sleeping around this time in their pregnancy, and I can say that that is not the case with me. In fact, all I want to do is sleep. I'm still very tired when it comes time to like sleepy time. So like when I'm awake, I have pretty good energy, but like when it's time to sleep, it's time to sleep. So I can fall asleep like that, thankfully, sleep through the night, sleep in the morning if I have the opportunity to. If Andrew's home that day and he can wake up with Emerson, then I will sleep in, and I still at around 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon feel like I have to take a nap. And if I don't take a nap or I don't at least rest, then I am no good for the rest of the day. The only pregnancy symptom that I can think of that I have right now is very vivid dreams, which I know is common, and they are crazy. I sometimes tell Andrew what they're about, and there is a reoccurring theme with like creepy crawly things. So I remember I woke up in the middle of the night and Andrew's like, "What?" And I said, "There's something flying around here." And then I like kind of woke up more and was like, I think I was dreaming, and that's really embarrassing. So I like tried to play it off all cool. And then another dream I had was about like snakes like all over the place, and my family was involved, and I was like so worried that they were gonna get bit by these snakes. But they weren't just like little tiny snakes, they were like big boa snakes. So I don't know what that says about this pregnancy or whatever, but vivid dreams is definitely like my main symptom right now. Another pregnancy symptom that I have is like if I stand up, I'll feel a twinge in like my very lower abdomen, and I think that that's just due to like the ligaments stretching out and stuff like that. That's kind of something that I read. So I do have that, like I stand up and it's like a sharp twinge pain, but I like walk it out and it goes away. So nothing to concern me, but that is something that's kind of like going on. I'm definitely feeling the baby move a lot. Some days more than others, some moments more than others, but it is definitely a special feeling. I love that feeling, and I love to see the baby move, and that's just like, I think that is definitely my favorite part of pregnancy. So on a more serious note, I want to talk about some of the things that have been going on that I do believe is pregnancy related. And this happened maybe 2 weeks ago, and it lasted for about 2 weeks. So I touched on this in a previous vlog, talking about my postpartum depression, and I had that after I had Emerson, and it didn't really happen right away, but when it came on, it was really intense, and I wasn't myself. It happened when Andrew switched jobs, and he was very absent-minded, because that's just how he is when he gets a new job or a job that occupies his mind. He's like all into that job, and great to have that commitment, but I think in that time I really needed him because, you know, we had a new baby, and I was also just really hormonal and going through some like hormonal and bodily changes and things like that. And so to have him be focused on this job and he was gone a lot, I didn't handle it well, and I spiraled quickly and couldn't stop crying and just was an emotional wreck, and I wasn't a nice person, and I didn't know what to do about it because I couldn't help it. I couldn't talk myself out of it, and I didn't like to feel that way, and I know it was hard on Andrew, and I knew it was hard on Andrew. So I ended up calling my doctor, and he worked some things out with me, and we did end up getting me to a normal state again. And so I did not deal with that for forever. It did go away. Anyways, that was my postpartum depression experience. It was definitely more than baby blues. Like, I was prepared maybe to have a little bit of baby blues, but I had full-on postpartum depression. Not ashamed to say it. It's a fact, and I know that so many women go through it, and for some reason it's something that's just not talked about. Probably because people don't want other people thinking that they're crazy, but guess what? We crazy. And it's not our faults. It really is not. Our body goes through so much with pregnancy and then delivery and then trying to heal from that. So many hormonal changes. You know, your body is growing a baby, and then your body is telling itself to deliver that baby, and then after that you are healing, but your body tells you to produce all this milk so you can feed your baby. Like, there's so much going on, and for some people it reacts funky with them, and it reacted real funky with me. So anyways, I wanted to share that with you guys so that if you're going through it right now, or you have gone through it, don't feel bad about it. Don't be ashamed about it. Go to your doctor if you feel like you need to. Like, don't be ashamed about that. So give them a call and say, hey, this is what I'm going through. They want you to do that. I promise you, and they are so helpful. So anyways, that was my postpartum depression story. Now let's go into what happened about 2 weeks ago. Andrew got a new job. I know this sounds like maybe I just don't do well with Andrew getting a new job, but I'm pregnant and I'm all alone in Charleston. We just moved to this brand new city and state, which I love. I honestly love Charleston. So I'm not really established here in Charleston. We've been here for 6 months. And for the most part, I've had Andrew home with me. He used to work during kind of the evening time, so I would have him during the day to help me with Emerson, and then he'd go to work. I'd put Emerson to bed, and then I could spend the evening by myself, and I was fine with that. But then he got a 9-to-5 job on the other side of town, and in Charleston, you don't just like drive to the other side of town. It's a trek to get to the other side of town with lots of traffic during rush hour, which is when he was traveling. So he would leave early in the morning. He'd be at his new job, which was a very busy job, so he didn't really get to talk to me during the day, and then he would get home kind of late at night, and we would spend that time putting Emerson to bed, and then he would get tired and he would fall asleep, and so I felt very alone still. So I would go through the day feeling alone, and then Andrew would come home and fall asleep, and so I would still end up being alone. I did not handle that well. And the hormones are crazy. They're crazy. And I felt the exact same spiral that I could not control and I could not get out of. So I spent about the first 2 weeks of him at that job getting worse and worse. The first couple days were hard, but the feelings kept getting worse and worse, and I would spend time reading my Bible and trying to be positive and trying to read like encouraging books to help me get through it, and I could not shake it. I couldn't do it. So I ended up calling my mom and asking her to come down just to be with me and to kind of like plan with me what we could do to get me out of this funk. So she came down, and I ended up just getting worse and worse and crying nonstop. So then I called my doctor and I explained to my doctor what was going on, and I am in love with my doctor. She is the sweetest thing in the entire world, and just talked to me, and we worked it out again to get me back to normal. And it didn't happen right away. It took me about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks of me just in that dark place. But I can say that I am better now. I am happy now. We've made some life changes just to kind of help me during this time. But I just want to let you know like what is going on. I was off social media. I was just like, I was in my own world. But I don't want to keep that a secret, because I want to be able to help somebody out there. If you're going through it, if you've gone through it, just to know that you are not alone, that you're not crazy. It is the hormones. It is possible to have prenatal depression as well as postpartum depression. So if this is you, if you are like me, don't be afraid to go to your doctor and get help. And gather your troops, whoever that is, and get them on your side and let them know what is going on, because you don't want to go through this by yourself. Believe me, I got to a point where I couldn't go through it by myself, and I needed my mom and I needed Andrew, and I got through it. So that was deep, but I wanted to share it. I wanted to let you guys kind of in on that part of this pregnancy, because I do these bump dates and I update you on symptoms and how I'm feeling and things like that, and that was a huge part of the last couple of weeks. So there it is. On a brighter note, we have our big ol' anatomy scan on Monday, and we will be finding out the gender, but we're not going to actually find out the day of. We're going to have them write it in a card, and then we're going to do a gender reveal. That way I can have my family around and I can film it, and we can make it a big celebration and a big to-do. But the thing is I want my parents to be here for that, and they aren't going to be here until around the beginning of June. So I kind of have to wait, like, I think it's a week and a half that I'm gonna have to wait to find out what the gender of our baby is. And that's gonna be so hard for me. I think I'm gonna have to give the card to somebody else, like get it out of my house, because I don't trust myself, and I think that I'm probably gonna like get up in the middle of the night and open the card and find out if I don't like get it out of the house. But we are gonna do, like I said, the gender reveal. I have some plans in mind for how I want to get it done, and we're gonna film it, and I'm gonna share it with you guys as soon as I possibly can, as soon as we get to do the gender reveal. So that is all for my 18-week pregnancy update. If you guys have any questions about this pregnancy that I did not answer in this video, then please let me know. I would love to answer those questions or kind of like go over those things in the next video. So like I said, if you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comments and I would love to answer those. I almost forgot. Let's do a bump shot so I can show you the growing bump. It's still not a whole lot to look at, but it is definitely growing, and I definitely feel that there's a big old baby in there. you guys for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please give it a big ol' thumbs up if you did. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos coming up, especially the bump dates, if that's what you're here for. And I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see